Hey there, hi, and welcome to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host, Joe. And today on the show, we have the debut album from the new garage rock power pop supergroup, The Empty Hearts. The Empty Hearts is a band of four musical friends who decided to get together and record for fun, like they did in the old days. Four guys who've got pretty good pedigrees of their own, great success in their respective bands. Wally Palmer from the Romantics on lead vocals, guitar, and harmonica. Elliot Easton from the Cars on lead guitar. Clem Burke from Blondie on drums, and Andy Babiak from the Chesterfield Kings on bass, with a little help from the legendary Ian McLaughlin on keyboards. You know, from their buddy from the old days, from the Faces and Rolling Stones. A lot of other bands he's played with. Great guy. The album was produced by Ed Stasium, who is also kind of a legendary producer in his own right. It's the first time I've heard him do anything in a while, but he worked on many of my favorite records from the back in the day. The Ramones, the Smithereens, the list goes on and on and on. And so it's great to hear Ed back here. Their music very much influenced by the British invasion bands of the 60s, the Beatles, the Stones, the Kinks, the Who, as well as like all the other garage rock bands that sprung up, influenced by them. Of course, those guys were influenced by them as well. And if you look at the cover, you know, that's very much an homage to the Who's debut album, My Generation, right there. So if you see this, and you know these guys' music, you kind of have an idea what you're getting yourself into, but all great stuff. It's albums on 429 Records, and again, it's another one of those records you can drop the needle anywhere. It's great stuff. I got a lot of faves on the album. I like the opening track, the driving 90 miles an hour down the Jen End Streets, the stomping sing-along, I Don't Want Your Love If You Don't Want Me, I See No Way Out, which is very much, you know, early Who influenced song. The track you're hearing right now is definitely one of my favorites on the album, Fill an Empty Heart. Not really a title track for the band, but, you know, the name's in it as well. And speaking of names, the band got their name from the legendary Little Steven Van Zandt, connoisseur of all things garage rock. But back to this tune, very Smithereen sounding, a very smoky noir ballad, quite dig it a lot. Loud and clear, the track has almost an AC/DC kind of guitar intro vibe, but that's very much Elliot Easton. He was a secret weapon in the Cars, very much the secret weapon in the Empty Hearts too. Perfect World is another tune that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Smithereens, but it's you know, they use the same producer and the same influences, so there you go. And I also really like the countrified ballad I Found You Again, but man, again, you can't go wrong. This whole album is great. Wally Palmer sings in a little deeper voice than he used to with the Romantics. Don't know when that changed, but it still sounds great, so it's all good. And the rest of the guys in the band just rock it. Sound great together. I'm so glad these guys decided to do this little project. But you, like I said, you like any of these guys' respected bands or their influences, The Empty Hearts, debut album out now. It's definitely one you want to check out. They're going to be on tour through October and November, maybe into December, depends on how things go. But get a chance, go catch them out on the road. And that is all I have for you this time on Sit and Spin. Hopefully you're checking out my good buddy Scott over at Righteous Vinyl, as well as the Riff of the Day guys. And next week, hopefully, new Gaslight Anthem. Would have probably done it today too, but they didn't send my record out in time. It's shipping. I hate ship. That's the only thing I hate about online shipping. But in the meantime, go out to a near store nearby you, pick up The Empty Hearts debut album, out now. Great stuff. We will catch you next time on Sit and Spin. See you then.